So this is the Murli of the 7th of May 1983, and the title of the Murli is "The World of Brahmins is Free from Sorrow." The world of Brahmins is free from sorrow. So today the carefree emperor, the emperor who is free from sorrow, has come to meet his master carefree emperors. Baba is the carefree emperor, capital C carefree and capital E emperor. So he is the emperor who is free from sorrow. And who are we? We are master carefree emperors. We are his children, so we are master carefree emperors. This gathering is of the emperors of the confluence age. This gathering is of the emperors of the confluence age. It is through this sovereignty that you attain your reward in the future. Bap Dada was seeing whether all the children who have become emperors, who are free from sorrow, that is, who are beyond all types of sorrow. So he's looking at everyone. He's looking at all of the children who were sitting in front of him. So we all are children of God. So who are we? We are emperors who are free from sorrow. What does that mean? That we cannot still have any type of sorrow. The world of Brahmins is free from sorrow. Do you have any sorrow now? Souls who have a right to the confluence aged Brahmin world are carefree emperors. Have you become such carefree emperors that there is no wave of sorrow even in your thoughts? In any case, sorrow is in our thoughts. You see, there is pain and there is suffering. So there could be pain to the body or pain because of situations around us, but there cannot be suffering. Suffering is in the mind. Suffering is at the level of the soul. So Baba is saying, have you become such carefree emperors that there is no wave of sorrow even in your thoughts? Do you experience yourselves to be the carefree emperors who are constantly on the bed of happiness in the world of happiness? So instead of waves of sorrow that people experience, we Baba's children are constantly laying on the bed of happiness. And for us, actually, the entire world is world of happiness. There is no name or trace of sorrow in the Brahmin world or in Brahmin life because there are no Brahmin treasures that are unattained. There is nothing that is left for us to attain. The reason for sorrow is that something is unattained. I wish I could have that. I wish I can get to that. We have received everything. So there's nothing left to be attained. So therefore there is no sorrow. Attainment is the means of happiness. So to be an embodiment of all attainments means to be an embodiment of happiness. Since we have received everything, we have to be happy all the time. Have you become such an embodiment of constant happiness? The means of happiness are relationships and wealth in particular. Even in the world, that's how it works, right? People think that if they have good relationships, then there's happiness. If they have a lot of wealth, prosperity, abundance, then they feel that they're happy. So just think about it. You've attained the relationship of eternal happiness, have you not? In terms of relationships, if even one relationship is missing, there are then waves of sorrow. Yeah, let's say somebody has wonderful parents, wonderful brothers and sisters, a wonderful spouse, but then doesn't have a child. Oh, I wish I would have a child, so there's sorrow. Or if the child is not behaving in the right way, creating trouble, then there is sorrow. Or if you have the most amazing children, the most amazing in-laws, but let's say you have some bone of contention with your spouse, then again there'll be a lot of sorrow. Here, what happens is we Baba's children have learned the art of creating all relationships with one Baba. So we have all the relationships, we have all of these attainments that each relationship would bring us, and therefore we are always happy. So in the Brahmin world, all relationships with the Father are eternal. Is even one relationship lacking? Baba is asking. All relationships are imperishable, and so how could there be waves of sorrow? Even if we have a wonderful relationship, let's say you have a wonderful relationship with your own child, but somewhere deep inside you would know that the child is going to go to college, leave the home, maybe find a job in a different town, and eventually will get married, will have his or her own family, his or her own children. So you see, this relationship is not really eternal. Although yes, that child will be your child, but still the child will now start belonging to someone else, will go away from your home. But here with Baba, let's say I make Baba as my child. My Baba is not going to go anywhere, right? Your Baba is not going to leave you ever. He's not going to move out of your home. He's going to be there till the last moment of your lives. So in terms of wealth, all the treasures or the elevated treasure of all wealth is the wealth of knowledge through which you can automatically attain all types of wealth. Even in the world out there, they say knowledge is wealth. We have gotten the most elevated wealth of knowledge, and therefore we are wealthy, profoundly wealthy. We are in fact the richest in the world. Since you have attained wealth and relationships, you are in a carefree world. There's nothing to worry about, nothing to be afraid about. So you are the children and the masters of the world of constant happiness. That is, you are the emperors. Have you become emperors, or are you becoming that? Yes, we will all say, yes, Baba, we are becoming that. We haven't reached there yet. But why does Baba want us to think that we have already become that? We have explained this in the past, right? That you have to see yourself in the future as if the future has come to the present moment and experience that state of constant happiness, of being totally carefree, of having attained everything, all the wealth in the world, all the knowledge in the world, so therefore all the wealth, in all the relationships you're experiencing in these most beautiful terms with God, eternal relationships with God. You see, so then you are able to experience happiness now in this moment. See, rather than, oh, I'm going to be happy then. When I get to that state, then I'll be happy. Now, we have to create that happiness now. You see? So our present state, if it is happy, is going to attract happiness. If we think that we are not really happy, but will be happy in the future, we will not experience happiness now. You see, and so in a way, we won't attract more happiness in our lives. Whatever you want to attract is what you have to experience now. If you want to attract abundance, you have to experience abundance now. So you have to create that kind of mindset. That's why Baba says this. And so therefore he's asking this question, have you become emperors, or are you becoming that? What does Bab Dada think when he sees or hears of your waves of sorrow? That you are children of the ocean of happiness, that you are carefree emperors, so how can there be waves of sorrow? You must definitely have gone outside the boundary of the world of happiness. Yeah, here Baba gives us this example of Sita. Sita was asked by Lakshman to stay within the boundary of that Lakshman Rekha. But she stepped outside that because of her own ignorance. Or as soon as she gets out of that line, the boundary, She gets abducted by Ravan, and then she has so many waves of sorrow in her life. Her life is filled with sorrow after that. So, for us too, if we get attracted by Maya, so those things are traps, they are Ravans. So, because of that, we will then experience sorrow. As long as we stay within that line of conduct, we will never experience sorrow. So Baba is saying you must definitely have gone outside the boundary of the world of happiness. You got attracted to one artificial attraction or another, or some artificial form, just as it is shown in the memorial of the previous cycle that Sita was attracted and crossed the line of the code of conduct. That is, she crossed the boundary of the world of happiness. And where did she end up as a result of that? In the cottage of sorrow. When you are within the boundary, you experience happiness even in a jungle. So you understand, it is not a physical boundary, it's a boundary in the mind. And if I step across that line, wherever I am, even if I am sitting in a palace, I'll be sad. And if I stay within that boundary of the line, the code of conduct, then even if I am in a jungle, I'll be happy. So see, when you are within the boundary, before she steps out, before she gets attracted to the golden deer, and then all of this fiasco starts. Ram goes to catch the deer, and then there are these screams of distress that the demon tries to create, and then Sita thinks that something is wrong with Rama, and then she sends Lakshman to help Rama. And meanwhile, Lakshman then creates that line of conduct, an actual line of conduct, and says, don't go out of this. But before that, she was naturally in that state. And that's why, although she was in the jungle, she was happy. So you see, when you are within the boundary, you experience happiness even in a jungle, and fortune even in renunciation. You are emperors without even as much as a shell. Even in the beggary life, it's not beggary like we would go around begging, but there was a time when the organization had no money, very, very long back. But then, Baba was there, Supreme Soul, Shiv Baba. He took care of everything. So that was a phase when everybody was tested, how loyal they are, how faithful they are to God, how faithful are they to the mission. And they did not question what is going on. Some questioned and they left. But the best of the best stayed on. They knew, they had the complete faith, the complete understanding that God is there. God will take care of everything. You are empress without even as much as a shell. Even in the beggary life, you lead the life of a prince. You experience this, do you not? What do you experience when you come to Madhuban, away from the whole world? It is in a small place, in a corner of the world, but as soon as you arrive here, you say that you have reached a world that is even more elevated than the golden aged world. So you experience happiness in a jungle, do you not? You experience the dry mountains to be a world of happiness as elevated as diamonds. You experience your world to have changed. In the same way, wherever you Brahmin souls may be, even amidst an atmosphere of sorrow, you are like a lotus. You're detached from sorrow, carefree emperors. See, so even if the atmosphere is really low, really filled with sorrow, we, Baba's children, will remain carefree emperors. So no waves of the sorrow of some physical illness, no waves of sorrow of a wasteful upheaval in your mind, no waves of sorrow of a lack of attainment of perishable wealth, no waves of the sorrow of your weak sanskaras and nature or those of others, no waves of the sorrow of the atmosphere of vibrations or waves of sorrow based on relationships and contacts pull you to themselves, do they? See, There are multiple different types of sorrow that people experience. So, wasteful upheaval of the mind can give us sorrow. If there's lack of attainment of perishable wealth, oh, I don't have money, I don't have, I can't buy a car, an expensive car, I can't buy a big house. So then there is this feeling of sorrow. Then there could be sorrow because of our own sanskaras, which are weak nature, weak sanskaras. Or there could be problem or sorrow because of the atmosphere, the vibrations. Oh, I don't like this place, I don't like my work. At work, there is so much of negativity that can give us sorrow. Yes, or maybe because of relationships and contacts, they can pull us to themselves, and so there could be sorrow there. You are detached from them, are you not? When your world changed, your sanskaras changed. So, our sanskaras changed, therefore the world changed, or the world changed and therefore the sanskaras changed? Little bit of both, right? Your nature also changed, and you therefore became part of the world of happiness. In fact, you became beggars. That is not even your body, the home. The home for the soul is this body, right? So even this body doesn't belong to you. What belongs to us, anyways? Right now, we're living in these houses. The mortgage company owns the house. We don't even own the houses. Cars, we have taken these cars on lease. Does the car belong to us? No, it belongs to the leasing company. What really belongs to us and what belongs to us now belonged to someone else yesterday and will belong to someone else tomorrow. Or maybe it will go into garbage. Your cell phone, for example, your computer, it belonged to Apple store, maybe, or Dell store, and then, or Samsung for cell phones, right? So it could belong to them, and then tomorrow it might go back to something, I don't know, someone else. You might sell it off to someone else. So you see, nothing really belongs to you permanently. But if you understand that you're a soul, truly nothing belongs to you. Even the home of your soul, that is the body, does not belong to you. You have become beggars, have you not? However, you also became the masters of all the Father's treasures. See, the more we become beggars, the more we become empty of all these physical possessions, the more we will be entitled to God's treasures, imperishable treasures. So think of it, what do we want? What will give us true happiness? God's eternal treasures or these worldly things? We can't have both, actually. You see? How does that sound? Wouldn't that be wonderful if you can get a little bit of both? No. So, little bit of both, yeah, sure, you can get a little bit of both. You can hold on to some of your physical possessions. No, this is mine, this is mine. Then you will be deprived of some of the Father's treasures, the eternal treasures. But if you let go of the attachment to everything, you don't run after anything physical, then you will get all of Baba's wonderful treasures. You became self-sovereigns. You see, otherwise these things control us. Do we possess things or do these things possess us? Yeah, so let's say you have a very expensive pen. Now, as soon as, let's say, you misplace it, what happens to you? So, see, you became self-sovereign. Do you have such intoxication and happiness? This is known as being a carefree emperor. Yeah, this cell phone doesn't belong to me. You take it away, it's okay. It is there, it's okay. It's not there, it's okay. So all of you sitting here are emperors, are you not? Is the condition of your kingdom fine? Are all the workers in your kingdom working under your orders? None of them are deceiving you, emperors, are they? Are all the workers in your kingdom those who say, "Present, my lord," or "Yes, my lord"? Do you hold your own court? A court of kings is held to check that all the workers are working correctly. Is your treasure store full of all treasures? Is your treasure store full to the extent that even if you constantly donate as a great donor, the treasure would still be unending? I'll repeat, is your treasure store full to the extent that even if you constantly donate as a great donor, the treasure would still be unending? Do you check this? You've become Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. You've become yogis. Therefore, you don't forget to check yourself in the intoxication of this carelessness, do you? I repeat, therefore, you don't forget to check yourself in the intoxication of this carelessness, do you? You see, there is an intoxication of being careful and experiencing God's treasures, but there's also an intoxication of carelessness. So, which one is beneficial for us and which one is harmful? We know that, right? So, constantly check the activities of your kingdoms. Do you understand? You know how to check, do you not? This gathering is of the majority of those who are mature and experienced. To be experienced means to have authority. Now, Baba is asking, what authority? The authority of self sovereignty. You're not those with such authority, are you not? You have just come today. You have come to have yourselves checked and to claim the certificate, have you not? To see that you are proper emperors, have you not? You'll go back with a certificate for whatever type of king you are, will you not? Whether you are a king in name only or a king that is ruler in your activities as well, you will be able to see all of that for yourself in the palace of mirrors. See, there are mirrors all around us. Even, see, sisters like to see themselves in the mirror, right? So if they will go to the mall or something and wherever there's a mirror, then they look at themselves. And or they are going window shopping, even through the windows, sometimes because of the reflection, the light and all, you can see yourself. So similarly, think of it, there are actually mirrors all around us. Do we stop to look at ourselves in those mirrors? You see, the spiritual mirrors, the mirrors of knowledge, where we have to check whether we are truly kings who have total control over themselves and therefore the kingdom, or we are just kings in namesake. So, acha. Now, these salutations to the carefree emperors who constantly stay in the world of happiness, to the powerful souls who constantly have a right to the kingdom, to the carefree emperors who constantly stay in the world of happiness, to the powerful souls who constantly have a right to the kingdom, to those who are constantly beyond all waves of sorrow and who are loving to the Father. So that means we have to be detached from this physical world. Only then can we be truly loving to the Father. So the Father, the bestower of happiness, to the elevated souls who are authorities of experience. Bapdada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Yeah, we have seen it over and over again that when we are stuck in different things, when we get possessed by our possessions, then there is sorrow. On the other hand, when we remain detached from everything and loving to the Father, when we see ourselves as trustees, then we are constantly happy. Yes,